Hello, welcome to Clarity Tarot. Welcome to my channel. So happy to have you here. Today's question is going to be, what are the common qualities in your soulmates or soul family? So to explain a bit what I mean about this question, so I personally believe that we all have more than one soulmate. These can be platonic or romantic. For example, someone in your family could be a soulmate, your friends, your partners, and some of them are meant to stay more long term, and some of them are more for lessons or just a time in your life. But there does seem to be, I've noticed, a commonality in your soul family or in your soul group or your group of soulmates. For example, I've realized over time that those that are in my soul family that I deeply resonate with, whether they're positive or negative influence in my life long term, they all seem to have psychic gifts. And I was talking with my husband about this, and actually I won't share what his is, but anyway, I thought it'd be an interesting thing to do a reading about, to see for you and your soul family, what is kind of, one of the threads that you all have in common. So that is our question for today. And one more thing, so this reading is timeless, but if you're watching in January 2022, I am doing a giveaway of a free reading I'll draw a winner from those that comment on my videos. You can enter up to 5 times, and I will draw a winner from those that have commented for a free reading in the first week of February. So if you're interested in free readings, please take advantage of that. And now let's jump into your reading. So, I should also mention this is a general reading, so if you need one specific to you, there is information in the box below how to get a private reading. And here we go. So we have pile 1, 2, 3. Pile 1, there is a 50-cent euro piece on that pile. Pile 2 is a 10 hryvnia piece, which is the money in Ukraine. And then we just have a US quarter. Looks like it's an Illinois 1813 quarter. So take a moment, observe the piles, see which one calls out to you, and I will see you at your reading. All right, pile 1, let's learn about, if you chose the 50-cent euro piece, let's learn about your soulmate or soul group. Okay, and we have the Strength card and the 7 of Swords. This is from the Tarot of the Divine deck. So let me just tune into this for a moment. So one characteristic of your soul family or soulmate group is a voracious mind. Have you ever heard the saying, a mind like a steel trap? Anyone in your soul group would have this quality about them. And they're exceptionally fierce people, and in particular, like mentally fierce. I'm almost getting the image of, have you ever observed like an attorney or a lawyer argue a case with just like the most perfect logic and brilliant delivery, and each point is kind of built off the previous one? It would be this kind of quality. And even if there might be people in your soul group that aren't that extroverted and don't use that way, but there's something about their mental energy that is so sharp, so dialed in. From the 7 of Swords, I get like strategy and long-term planning. Cunning would be a good word for this group. And there's mental mastery that's at play here with the Strength card. If you see here, this woman is subduing it looks like a crocodile in a lion costume. So also that combined with the 7 of Swords, there's a real talent for, I would say, how unmasking people or uncovering the truth or getting down to the truth of an issue. So this might even be, I'm thinking of, in more of like a corporate sphere, this could be something like being a whistleblower or being somebody that really uncovers corruption. But you're doing it especially from a mental and strategic point of view. That's kind of cool. So you would see that your soul family or your soul mates would be very advanced in their mental pursuits. They would probably really enjoy even something simple like logic puzzles for fun. So you would see this not only in their dealings with other people, but in like their leisure time. Maybe they like to go to lectures. Maybe they read really complicated nonfiction or textbooks. So I'm just want to ask Spirit if there's anything I'm missing here about your soul group that I should mention. We're getting some cards here. This is the Ethereal Visions deck. 9 of Swords reversed, 10 of Cups reversed, the Chariot reversed. So one other quality you might notice about your soulmates is they can have a tendency to get stuck in their minds. They may struggle with anxiety or racing thoughts or finding emotional fulfillment in life and finding how to take forward action. So with all of these cards reversed, what I'm getting, and we also have 4 of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck, and no, my whole deck is not upside down, as you can see, but what I'm getting with this is these are the struggles that the people in your soul group have gone through and overcome. So at some point in their lives, each of them would have really struggled with taking appropriate action, not getting stuck in their heads and overthinking, not being able to find their place in the world and a safe space emotionally for them to land, and issues around anxiety or depression. I'm getting mostly anxiety, although they could be 2 sides of the same coin. And you would notice that as well about your soul group. So I just want to ask one more question here, which is, if there's a superpower about your soul group, your soulmates, your soul family, what would that superpower be? We've gotten a little bit about that, but I just want to dig a bit deeper. Anything else about pile 1, the superpower in that soul group? We have 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 6 of Cups reversed, with the 4 of Pentacles reversed at the bottom of the deck. So forward movement and improvement is really important for your group, and fighting for what's right, fighting for what you believe in, which I'm getting here is balance, almost like equal society. I'm getting like a society level feel in here. I don't know, I've never totally noticed this in this card, but do you see here how she's holding this little, I don't know what you call this. I think it's, in the legal profession, it's like a balance, like a scale, and she's holding that between these 2 people. So, and again, I'm getting that this doesn't happen as much on an emotional level as some kind of societal, business, organizational level. But the superpower for this group, for group 1, is making sure that those in power don't abuse that power, that everyone has as fair of an opportunity as possible, and kind of outsmarting or out-strategizing those that would take advantage of that power. So I hope that resonated for you, pile 1. Let me just think if there's anything else I want to ask in this question. I think we got there. Spirit says that's it. So hope you enjoyed that reading. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if it resonated for you, or even if it didn't. I'd be curious about that. And also if you want to enter for the free reading. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you liked it, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Okay, pile 2. If you picked the 10 Hryvnia from Ukraine, this is your reading. Let's see what we have. You got a stack of cards that came out. So, Two of Swords, Three of Wands reversed, Judgment reversed, the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Six of Wands. Okay, let me tune in here for a moment. And this is commonalities in your soul family or your soulmates. So the first thing coming through really strongly with the High Priestess upright is a lot of repressed thoughts and feelings. And no, I'm sorry. That's interesting that that came through. That's not the High Priestess at all, is it? Well, you might have a lot of repressed thoughts and feelings. It's interesting that I went down that road. But no, very deep esoteric knowledge to the point that it sometimes makes it hard to ground it in the real world and figure out what choice to make here with the Two of Swords and these reversals we have here. There's something very important about you and your soul group not having to be in charge or lord authority over others. I think you're very sensitive to issues around, any set of oppressive rules or issues around freedom. And with Judgment reverse, I'm getting that you're very, very clear to let fate decide things in your life, or allow others to get their justice. Like you don't have to deliver justice. It's interesting. The first group, they were kind of like the distributors of justice in a way. But your group, it's more about, what matters is my peace, my inner tranquility, my balance. And I don't have to look a certain way to anybody. I don't have to present myself according to what society would consider successful. I know that I'm at peace within myself, and that's what matters. If you look at this card, look at her. She's just sitting on this luxurious couch, reading a book, all these pearls, all done up, and under the moon with, I think there's incense in these jars she has above her, possibly. And this is one of the two upright cards you have in the reading. So Two of Swords is often about looking at things in two different ways. I'm having trouble speaking. I'm also getting like a defensiveness here. Do you see how she has this crossed in front of her? And she actually reminds me a bit of the woman in the High Priestess card as well. So what I'm getting is people in your soul group are intensely protective of their inner world, their inner riches, their inner life, and they don't share that with many people. They're just not focused on the outside world the way a lot of people would be. So even if, let's say, they have a really lucrative, successful job, they get there, they do their 40 hours a week, and as soon as the clock clicks over to 40 hours, they're done. They leave it behind, and the majority of their energy goes elsewhere. And really, where the majority of their energy goes is into their own inner richness and exploring the depths of themselves and of spiritual mysteries. It's interesting. I'm getting the sense that I'm really missing something big here about your pile, but I think that's actually part of an element in your soul group. Like people meet you and your soulmates or others in your soul family, and they're like, there's a lot more to this person that I just don't know, and I may never know because they keep it pretty close to the chest. I just want to ask Spirit, is there anything I'm missing here about type 2 and their soulmates that you want them to know? Pile 2, type 2. Oh, now we have the Emperor upright instead of reversed. Maybe I set that out incorrectly. Seven of Swords reversed. Yeah, in some ways this is really like the opposite of the first pile. And the Six of Wands upright, that is hilarious. Five of Cups. So do you see how, I mean, it's the exact same two cards. I mean, you saw me shuffle live on screen. They came out reversed, and now they're upright. So I wonder if Spirit is telling me that I laid them out incorrectly or something. But here's the thing with the Seven of Swords reversed. So you're not going to pretend that you're anything that you're not. Inside, you are this Emperor and Six of Wands. You have full victory and success within yourself. You have control isn't the right word. Dominion is the word that's coming through, which is an interesting one. You have dominion over yourself and over your life. And you make no apologies for who you are, for what you want, for what you're about. And sometimes that comes through in ways that are difficult for others to digest, I would say. So if you're really sad, you'll be really sad. I mean, it sounds simple, but people can get really triggered by that and not want to be around people that have that level of authenticity. That's it. That's it. You and your soulmates, it's the authenticity that really comes through. And not just, I mean, some people show authenticity only in their positive qualities, if you get me. You also have fully owned and integrated the parts of you that might be more difficult for others to digest, or parts that might be judged as bad. You know that judgment, there should be no place for judgment with that. And that how certain qualities are viewed are very cultural. I know we had the euro here and we have a quarter later, which, I mean, a euro is from a different country from the United States. But speaking as an American, you know, a Ukrainian coin, it's a country not a lot of people that know a lot about. Fascinating, beautiful country, beautiful people. But I think that's kind of, it's standing out to me because that's your orientation. You know that the most important thing you can do is be true to yourself, and that's going to land how it's going to land to certain groups, to certain countries, to certain people, but that your focus needs to be not to turn against yourself. And that's what we have here, right? You are fully, completely integrated within yourself and protective of those inner riches. And not just you, everyone in your soul group, your soulmate. So for that reason, the people that are in your soul family or your soulmates may be more difficult to recognize at first. Why would that be, Spirit, though? Because they're so authentic. But I'm getting that it might be harder for you to find your soulmates. Can you explain that to me, Spirit? I'm not totally getting it. Maybe because you all don't feel a need to reveal your innermost selves unless you really are feeling it. And you may do that more slowly than others. Why might it be difficult for pile 2 to recognize those in their soul group? The Tower. This is funny. So what I'm getting is that the people you meet that are part of your soul group, sometimes you have kind of an aversion to them at first and vice versa, them for you, because none of you are interested in cultivating a particularly palatable, like, public image. Like, you're just not about that. The impressions you may give each other aren't strongly positive first impressions. You know, this would be the equivalent of, like, let's say you go on a first date with somebody and that person shows up like covered head to toe in dirt because they've been gardening all day and they forgot about the date and showed up 15 minutes late. And so they show up and they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm so dirty. I wanted to come still meet you, but I forgot about the date. And so you're sitting there thinking like, okay, so I'm not important enough for you to remember our date. You're a total slob. You're covered in dirt from head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have experiences with these people where you're like, at first. But what I'm hearing from Spirit is that, that God knows that. Your God knows that about you and your soul group. And so there's always multiple opportunities for you to be exposed to each other so that you learn and see over time the beautiful qualities that you have underneath. That's really interesting. I kind of love this for you, pile 2. Okay, if you're resonating with this, I would love to hear in the comments about you and your soulmates and your soul group, because I bet you're all like really fascinating, like give 0 Fs kind of people. I don't know if I can swear on this channel. I don't think I can. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and that it resonated with you. Leave me a comment and let me know if it resonated or if it didn't, or like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to win a free reading, I'm doing a giveaway if it's January 2022. And if you leave a comment on any of my videos, you're entered to win. Thank you so much, pile 2. Enjoy your awesome soulmates. They seem amazing. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Illinois Quarter, here's all about your soulmates or your soul family group. Knight of Coins reversed with the King of Swords upright. I'm really loving this. Is this a griffin? You know what's crazy? I'm picking this up intuitively. It's not necessarily like the meaning of these cards, but I'm drawn at these animals. Do you see these 2 animals and just like how intense their eyes are and how soulful the gazes are? I think that you and your soul group have an intense connection to animals. In fact, your soul family, many in your soul family may be in the animal kingdom. Is that a crazy thing? Oh, I've never thought about that. I guess that's possible. Hey. And there's something also very, what's the word for this? Original, tribal, aboriginal, native. Maybe native is the right word. It's almost like, I mean, you're watching this video in 2022 or after, so obviously you're a modern person, but there's something about you that is very, I don't even have the words for this. Maybe someone in this group can help me out with how you would describe this in yourself. But it's like you're a person of the land, a person of the earth. You're very connected to the natural world. You have a very strong connection and understanding with animals. It's funny, I'm thinking of all these different like animal TV shows where these people are featured, even things like, okay, these are, don't shoot me because these are not like, you know, always the most flattering examples, but like the crocodile hunter or Tiger King, or what's the show with like the cat therapy and stuff like that. Like your soul group are people that have relationships with animals the way that the most of us have relationships with other humans. But you're able to also like speak that language with animals. And so people that are in your soul family and soul group also have that in common. So in that way, they may be easy to find because I would say almost everyone has a connection to animals in some way in their work. I mean, you might be working in a government agency that's for like protection of wildlife, for example, or all the way to like maybe working at a PetSmart, like a pet store, and feeding the animals. Oh, I don't think my niece watches watches pick a card readings, but she would so be in this group. She has always just like had a sixth sense with animals. It's really cool to see. So that's pretty straightforward and cool. Let me tap into the King of Swords and the Knight of Coins. I'm just going from the images here, which I think also kind of goes with your personality a bit. I think that you're very, very body-based person or energetic person. If you think about connecting with a dog or a griffin or a cow, for example, you obviously can't use words. You use kind of the energy between you and nonverbals and things like that. And I think you're very much that kind of person. So it's interesting to try to interpret, cards with writing on them that have a particular meaning. But let me tune into that and see if there's anything else here around you and your soulmates. So I'm getting something around pacing here. I think that you are a pretty slow, methodical, and gentle person. It's reminding me of a scene I saw from, wow, I haven't thought about this in a long time. The Truth About Cats and Dogs. This was a movie with Uma Thurman and Janine Garofalo in the 90s. Wow. Anyway, in this movie, Janine Garofalo is a veterinarian on a radio talk show, and people call in with problems. And anyway, someone calls in with a problem with an aggressive dog, and she coaches this person about how to approach the dog with your hand, like your fingers curled under like a paw, turning your head downward, not making eye contact, like in a submissive posture, and slowly moving towards the animal in that kind of way. And this is something that you naturally do, and I feel like you kind of take that general approach to life, you and your soulmates do, where you find like a smooth, non-threatening way to come alongside, which is really, I think, important in the animal kingdom in particular, right? Because if you go after an animal in an aggressive or an authoritative stance, like there's a big reaction to that, I think. I don't think there's a single animal that I know of that's like, oh, great, the alpha has arrived. Let me get closer to that person. They might like fall in line, but that's not really the best way to, like, the closest animal relationship ever. I say this having almost zero experience with animals, so correct me, please, if you're in this group and you know better. So again, pacing, being slow and non-threatening, being methodical. So King of Swords is typically, it's an air energy, so I feel inclined to mention you could be a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. We also have Earth here, reversed, but I'm getting that you might be more in the air category. So you could be quite mental. Normally King of Swords is about strong logical mind as well. I'm sure you probably have that, but the more dominant quality is, I think, this light-hearted, light-minded way of thinking. Almost, what would be the word for this? Yeah, airy. I mean, airy is the word I'm thinking of. Light, yeah. Light, fluid. Okay, I'm just going to ask Spirit if there's things that I missed about this reading that I should highlight, or anything I said that was incorrect that should be edited. Let's see. Anything else, Spirit? Hierophant reversed, 8 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Cups. Oh my goodness, the Lovers reversed. Do you see? I have never noticed this. It's a 2 of Cups card, which is about partnership, and there's a lion. It's an animal. Oh, I love this. I love you, pile 3. How cool. How cool is that? Also, we have the Hierophant reversed. So you're not, again, with kind of back to the native thing, you're not so hot on, let's say, society and the constructs that we all have. You would be a person very interested in going off the grid. You and your soulmates. Actually, that might be how you would meet them. Maybe just like wandering out into the desert one day and finding a commune, for example. Eight of Swords and Five of Pentacles reversed. What is this trying to say? With the Lovers reversed. Yeah, you feel easily confined. You don't feel in harmony in regular society. For example, if you lived in a high rise in a big city, it would just feel like you were choking. Even something simple for some of you, like having to wear shoes every day or having to wear pants with a waistband, or, you know, you're probably more the type to want to have like flowy clothes, no bra, if you have breasts, you know, things like that. Just more natural and of the earth. I just love this card. I've never thought about this in terms of animals. There's also two snakes here. That is awesome. Okay, let me just tune in and see if there's anything else about you and your soulmates. So I'm hearing, just to reiterate the message, that many of your soulmates are animals, and don't feel weird about that. That's a thing. You will have, if you don't already, fulfilling human relationships as well with people that share some of that orientation. But if you feel really close to some of those from the animal kingdom, embrace that. It's your gift, and it's something that others in your soul group have as well. Okay, pile 3. That was such an interesting reading. I was really not expecting that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if it resonated, and I'm so curious for your pile, especially because I just know nothing about that, so I'd love to hear anything about how that resonates for you. If you'd like to leave a comment, you can enter my giveaway for a free reading. If it's in January of 2022, feel free to leave a comment on any of my videos. And thanks so much for coming by, pile 3. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.